Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Rangers, and I'm here to recap Game 44 of the regular season. Rangers over the Devils 6-3, and Buchnevich. What a way to spend a birthday, getting a hat trick. Let's get into the recap. Igor Shesterkin gets the start in net again, coming off of 2 consecutive shutouts of the Devils. Is he going to have a third one? Sadly not, but he had one for a while. So, getting right into it. First period. Rangers have a pretty good start, getting a couple of chances. Then, at 12:34, 1-2-3-4, which is just, I loved writing that down. Panarin at center ice with a really nice defensive play gets it to Mika Zibanejad. He heads in with Pavel Buchnevich on a 2-on-1. Mika to Pavel. Beautiful play. Buchnevich scores. 1-0 Rangers pretty quickly. Pretty good for the birthday boy. I wonder if he'll get another one at some point. 10:54, hooking on Brendan Howden gives the Rangers a power play, for the first one of the game. That's cool. And then, soon after that, 10:08, Devils have too many men. They had 5 guys on, which is accurate if you're not on a penalty kill. So the Rangers are going to have a 5-on-3 power play. And, hey, if they can score, within a minute, they'll have essentially 2 power plays back-to-back, so that'd be great. On the first power play, the 5-on-3, 9:33, Panarin has it. He takes a shot. Mika Zibanejad then grabs it. He passes over to Ryan Strome off the crossbar and in, baby! 2-0 Rangers. And we still have another power play. In the waning seconds of that power play, 8:12, the Rangers have it. Trouba gives it to Miller. Miller takes a big shot from almost the point. It's blocked and stopped by the goaltender, but then Pavel Buchnevich picks it up. He goes to the side with a beautiful little stutter step move, and he scores again. 3-0 Rangers like that. And Pavel Buchnevich is on hat trick watch because he has 2 in the first 12 minutes of the game on his birthday, no less. Nothing would happen for a little bit of time. At 3 left, there was a massive scrum that broke out in the Rangers' corner to the left of Shesterkin. It was all 10 skaters. It was madness. I thought there was going to be more than a few penalties, and there actually wasn't. There was just Brendan Smith for the Rangers and 2 Devils, which gave the Rangers a power play. We wouldn't do anything with it, but our power play was alive and well today, which is a positive. On that note also, our penalty kill was magnificent. Anyway, that ended the first period, and through the first one, the Rangers looked great. Shesterkin didn't have to face a ton of shots, but he was looking fantastic. We had 3 power plays, and 2 of them scored. We didn't take any penalties. Our offense was rolling. The defense wasn't giving up, any chances. So through the first period, we were looking fantastic. On to the second period. Almost immediately, 9:28. Ryan Strome with a beautiful pass off the boards, tape to tape with Artemi Panarin. He cruises in, and Artemi Panarin does not take any prisoners. He scores a beautiful goal, 4-0 like that. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be another good game, eh? And it was, but it wasn't, if that makes any sense. So a little bit later after that, PK Subban took a big old shot on Igor Shesterkin. And it deflected off of his glove. And then it was to his left a little bit, and he just kind of bunny hopped on it. I don't know what that was. I don't think that there's a term for that other than just he saw the puck there and said, oh, I would like to be on puck. Hop. So that is something that happened. I want him to name that because that is a technique that I have not seen before. 12:43, hooking on Colin Blackwell. So the Devils get a power play. That's not great. And it was a very, very, on the bright side, it was a magnificent penalty kill by the Rangers. It was beautiful. They couldn't establish any zone, what's the word I'm looking for? Zone possession. It was a very, very good power play by the New York Rangers, or penalty kill, excuse me. And at the end of it, there was a really good chance on a turnover. I think it was by Trouba. And Shesterkin, aggressive. He is, if it makes any sense, he's an offensive goalie. He gets really aggressive and goes for it. He was well outside of the blue paint on this shot, just came out, grabbed the puck, and brilliant save by Igor Shesterkin. A little bit later after that, 7:23, there was madness by the side of the net. McLeod got it, and he roofed one over Shesterkin. It was a beautiful goal, and so I don't really put this one on Shesterkin. There was basically, from the angle that Shesterkin took, there was about a 1-foot gap, if that, maybe more 6 or 7 inches, towards the top of the goal. That is the only place he possibly could have scored at, and he somehow put it in there. So that's much less anything of Shesterkin did this thing wrong. No, that was just a beautiful goal by him. And sadly, that ended the shutout streak of 2 games. 7 straight periods without allowing a goal. But a 199-minute stretch where Igor Shesterkin did not allow a goal, which the New York Rangers player relation Twitter account tweeted out right before that, like seconds before that goal, that he set the record for the longest stretch against a single opponent. So good job on you guys by ruining it. What was I saying anyway? So yeah, it's 4-1 at that point. 138, Keandre Miller gets an interference call, so the Devils get a power play. Nothing happens to start with it, but it'll carry over into the second period, or the third period, excuse me. So after the second, was it as good as the first? No, but it was still a pretty solid period, 1-1 in that period. So nothing too bad. And you're still carrying a 3-goal lead into the third period, which Toronto Maple Leafs fans probably wouldn't appreciate a 4-1 lead going into the third. But you know what? It's cool. We're not the Maple Leafs, but we almost did blow it. So in the third, 15-20, absurd flurry of saves by Igor Shesterkin. It was one where he was kind of out to his right, makes a great move going to his left to make another great save, and then he came like a good solid 2-3 feet outside of the blue paint to make another save. He is just such an aggressive goaltender. It's kind of insane. 14:53 left. A guy ran into Shesterkin. Now, he was kind of pushed. I thought he didn't have to make that play to go in towards the blue paint, so I think it was more on him than the Rangers. He gets shoved into Shesterkin. Massive scrum breaks out. It's going to be 4-on-4 for a while. I believe it was Kreider on our team who went to the box because he was not pleased with it. He took exception. Then at 14:26, the 4-on-4 would get it would be brutal for the Rangers. 14:26. Massive drive by PK Subban from the point. There was no one in front of him. And I mean, my God, he just took a big shot on Shesterkin and got it past him. Now, people get two things confused a lot. Is PK Subban older and not the player he once was back in the early 2010s? Yes, he is older. He's not that player. He's not a washed player because, good God, when he winds up like that, it just sounds like a shotgun going off. I'm almost happy Shesterkin didn't block it because it might have killed him if it hit him. Like, it was, that was an absurd one-timer by PK Subban to make it 4-2. But it's okay. We're still good. 13:22. Another rush into our zone leads to another Devils goal, making it 4-3. And now you kind of start to get a little nervous because now it's only a 1-goal lead. And then 5:55, Colin Blackwell for slashing. He takes the second penalty of the game, and the Devils get a power play. And at that moment, I'm like, oh, they're going to tie it up, aren't they? They're going to tie it up. And they wouldn't. Rangers killed that penalty off just fine. And then at 1:21, empty net, Pavel Buchnevich, birthday hat trick. What a way to spend a birthday, man. Pavel Buchnevich hatty, which is just living the dream for him. And then at 21 seconds left, Chris Kreider got an empty netter, which I thought it was kind of a good idea. I'm actually going to say something positive about David Quinn. Can you believe it? I thought it was a really good move to put Kreider in with the empty net so he could get a goal. I like that move a lot. And hopefully, because the Rangers, if they can get Kreider going along with everybody else, because Panarin's rolling, Strome's rolling, Blackwell's rolling, the kids' line's looking better, Mika, Buchnevich, they're all doing really well. If you could get Kreider going and the top 9 are all producing, there's a chance the Rangers can make the playoffs. So that happened, 6-3, and that would be it. A dominant first 40 minutes by the Rangers. A bit of trouble, stumbled a bit in the third, but then 2 empty netters, 6-3 win. And who can't I talk about this win? This was just such a team effort. Ryan Strome had a really quiet 3-point game, 2 assists and a goal. Just, casually 3-point game. And, if you would have told me that Ryan Strome would have 3 points and Igor Shesterkin would have a 30-save win and neither of them would be a star of the game, I wouldn't have believed you. It was just absurd. Lindgren had a 2-assist game, so he got a couple more points. Mika Zibanejad, 3-point game, all assists, so he's rolling now, which is fantastic. Artemi Panarin has a unreal game, 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists. Artemi Panarin is just a cheat code. It's the 8th time he had a 3-point game. I don't know how many times he's had 4-point games, but it's just getting unreal for Artemi Panarin, man. He is... I don't know if he's second or third this season in points per game, but he is just rolling. And if he would have played a full season, if Russia hadn't decided to derail his season, he would probably be in the conversation again for Hart votes, because he is just... I've said it before, I've said it, and I'll say it again. Worth every penny for Artemi Panarin in that contract. And he just proves that every single game he plays in. And again, he could have probably had a couple of goals. He was choosing to pass. There was a goal attempt by him and Kevin Rooney going out on a 2-on-1. And he was just trying to get it to Kevin Rooney. He wouldn't take a shot. He is just such an unselfish player. Artemi Panarin, man, such a great guy to have on this team. And then Pavel Buchnevich for the skater, the star of the game. Hat trick on his birthday. The 14th player in NHL history to ever do that. And the first Ranger, which, what a way to spend your birthday, man. Hat trick. 3-goal. That is stuff of scripts and of storybooks. That is just... Pavel Buchnevich. I also thought it was funny that he was the lead scorer on the Rangers alone for about 1 minute, and then Chris Kreider had the empty netter. And then Igor Shesterkin. Not as good as the first 2 games, but it's hard to say that with 2 shutouts. I actually might almost argue that this was better than the last game for him, since it was only a 16-game or a 16-save shutout. And I thought he looked really good tonight. Tonight, it's the middle of the afternoon. I thought he looked really good today with that. There were just the few that he gave up, but there were just so many absurd saves by Igor Shesterkin. It was absurd for him today. And I said going into the series, the Rangers, I call it a series, it was a 4-game set. I said going into this 4-game stretch, the Rangers needed to get 6 points. They needed to win at least 3 of the games. And they've done it. They've gotten 6 points. Sadly, the Bruins haven't lost any in that stretch, which hopefully they can lose tomorrow. That'd be helpful. But the Rangers did it. They got their 6 points out of this. I said they needed to. Hopefully they can get 2 more tomorrow. That would be, if they can get 8 out of the 8, that would be perfect. I assume tomorrow will be either Georgiev or Kincaid. I personally would put in Georgiev just because I am a little concerned about, Kincaid since he hasn't played in a while. Georgiev looked really good in his last appearance, and I would like to win the series again, I'm calling it a series 4-0. And since the 30th of last month, we have won 7 games, and we've only lost 1 in regulation. So we are picking up a ton of points. This is fantastic. This is magnificent. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is 7, 1, and 2 in the last 10. That's magnificent. That's just getting the points. This is what we need to do. We're only a few points out of that playoff spot, and I'm getting hype. I'm going for it. I'm gonna buy into it, Rangers. You got me there. I'm in. Let's make the playoffs. Let's go. We can do this. Boston ain't nothing. We can take them out. We can do this. We have the highest goal differential in the East. I just realized this while I'm actively looking at the standings and the point leaders. We have the highest goal differential of +31. Buffalo has -44. Good God. And the Devils have -39. That's sad. We have a higher goal differential than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dang. And the next closest in our division is the Penguins with +27. That ain't bad. Who has the highest goal differential in the league? Okay, Avalanche are up there, +53. We're 14th in the league in points now. That's fun with 50. I'm just sort of basically just reading off a stat sheet now, but man. This was a fantastic game by the Rangers. Hopefully they can get another one tomorrow. And this would be huge if we can take 4 out of the 4 against the Devils. That would be massive. And I'm buying in, Rangers. I'm getting into it. I'm getting hype. Let's do it. Make the playoffs. Will we get very far? I don't know. But man, this is everything I hoped for out of the season, I will say, to this point. Shesterkin has taken a massive step forward. He is easily and clearly now the goalie of the future. They were mentioning that in the game. Panarin is still a madman. Our young players are developing. And we're clutching up now when we need to. This is exactly what I hoped for going into the season, which is just super exciting. So that's it. That's all I have to say for this game. I will be here very late tonight, probably early tomorrow morning, technically, to recap the Astros game. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Rangers.